There are many more useful member functions in string. So in this video, we will see how to find specific substring or characteristic in the string. You also can replace specific character or substring. You also can insert the substring and character into the string. So the first one we see the find. So the string class provides constant member function for finding substring and character. So this one you see why they are constant member function. Because your purpose is try to find the location, you are not intended to change anything. So we have the find. By passing the substring, you want to see do you have this string substring in your object or not. Or you can do the rFind. That means the reverse finding. So they will find from the beginning or from the back. And also we have a couple more member functions. They have the find first of, or find last of, or find not first of. So this one actually will be even more useful is they can pass in a string. By this string they will see if I can match the first occurrence in the target string of any character. So that's a little different from the regular find. Regular find, if you give them a string, they need to be exactly the same. But to find the first of, they just find the one of the character if or any character from the source string is in the match. So we see the example 6. So example 6, we have our target string is our string 1. So we have the string like this. Then here, because when you do the find or the find the first of, the return actually return an integer. They just return the location where they find that. So that's why later we can save the location. So you can see here the original string is string 1. So if we want to find the is, so you can see is here. So that's why that's the first one we find. So later they will see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's the location they will display. So then you also can do the reverse. So they will start from the back. So of course we still have is. So if they find that, they will return the location. Otherwise we have the static value if they are not found. So this static value actually is we call the string. You see double colon. So that's the no position find. This one actually is a static constant number. So then whenever you try to see if they are not found, you can try to compare are they equal to that after the find member function. So that's the find and rFind. So then we also told you earlier we have the find first, find last, right? So here you see here they say MISOP. Actually what they were looking for is they were looking for any match from those 5 characters. So that's why we will see actually O is match. So that's why they will return you the location. Or you can see we go from the back. So that's the last. So that's why we still have this O here. So that's why they will return the result. So we will see the result like this. So for your find, that's the beginning. Reverse find is the back. So you can do the find first or find last of. So then I will leave you to see what is the find first not of or the find first. This one is not. So the last example from here, from this code, or I will just let you to see that. We will do the find first not of, but you see they passing different argument. So that's the result. So that's you can see how you can find the substring or just one single character from the string. So after we find, so sometimes we want to replace, right? So then after you find you want to replace, so then we do have the replace member function in the string class. So this replace member function taking 3 arguments. So the first argument actually is the subscript. That's the index of the character in the string you want to replace, begin to replace. Because sometimes maybe you have few of the character you want to replace. So you just say which index star, then how many characters you want to replace. So of course, the last one is the replaced string. So they can be string, they can be character. So in our example, next one, example 7, we are showing the replace. We also show you the other member function is erase. You can erase everything from what the character, the position you specify. So then we will see how to use that. So that's a long string. So that we have for the string 1. So then if we want to do the erase, you just need to pass in one argument. So start from this point, everything they erased. So that's why we just see after they erase what they have. Because 62, we are not really sure which one is the 62. So that's the original string. So after the 62, actually that's just the first 2 lines we have now. Okay, so now after the first 2 lines, we keep that. So after what we already erased after the character 62. So then we will see how to do the replace. So replace, you can see our output. They are replacing all the space with the dot. Okay, so we see how should we do that. So that's we see here, we will find the position for the space. So that's why you have your position number. So that's here you see we have the while loop. Because we want to, if we want to replace all the space with the specific value. So that's why you need to have your while loop to continue. But here we have the first one. So after you have position is not equal to the non-position, no position. Okay, so that's when we will find that, right? So then you see replace, we have 3 arguments. First argument, the location. So here we just want to replace all the space. So that's why I only do 1 with the dot. Okay, so then you will have that replace the first one. But continue, we need to have the next one. So next one, because we already find the first one. So that's why your find, not only you can specify your target string, you also can tell them from which location you start. So that's why we need to do the afterwards. So that's why you see here we have the while loop to replace. Sometimes you replace, you only can give them the position, how many you want and replace. So that's why here we need to have the while loop to do that. So that's why all the space will replace with a dot. So again, if you want, you can have all the dot you replace with the semicolon. But you see when we do 2, so that's why the rest of that, you see the V being replaced. So the I being replaced. So that's why here they do 2. We still have a for loop to find the dot. But afterward, you see, once they are not, so we replace the position 2 of them. Okay, so then we do the, here is what we want to replace. So you can give them the a string to replace and tell them start from where, and how many. So actually we only replace the 2 semicolons. So you can see here replace, actually they have more than 1 overloaded function according to how many parameters you want to pass. So after we see the find, replace, so now we can do the insert. So insert, same thing as the member function. So when you do the insert, you will have a couple different overloaded functions as well. You can pass in only 2 arguments. So the first argument, you tell them which location from this source string you will insert to. So then the second one, you can specify what you want to insert. So then also sometimes when you insert, right, you insert the location and your source string. But you also can have the partial of the source string you want to insert. So kind of the substring from the source string you want to insert. So then we will see here, we have 4 different strings. So we will see how the string 1 and 2 to insert 2 to 1, how will happen. So then to insert 4 to 3, what will happen. So the first thing, of course, we will display the original string in the console. So this one is earlier I said you can have the insert with only 2 arguments. The first argument always is your target string, which location you want to start. So then you just pass in your source string. So if we do so, that means from the 10 location in the string 1, you just insert the full string 2 into the string 1. Or the other way, if you have 4 arguments, the first 2, they are the same. They are the which location from the target string you will start insert. So then string 4, that's your source string. You can specify from which index to the last index, actually the index before that you will insert into. So here that means the kind of is no string. So that means you start from the 0 to the all of the string 4 will insert to the number 3 index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So start from the 4, they will insert the XX. So then afterward, they will add in together. So you can run this program and see the result like that. You see, when we do the second one, they say the 4, right? So we start 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's why from 4 here, they will insert the X and X. So that's why string 3 become like this. So then here, the middle, we just add before the E. So that's why you have the beginning, middle, end. So try this example, see if you change to something else, will they make the change accordingly?